What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Shadow the Grizzly. And today, I just kind of want to talk about something that's been on my mind, and that's dealing with inadequacy. Um, I tend to deal with the feeling of inadequacy quite often when it comes to things like making music or posting YouTube videos and stuff like that. And when it comes to things like that, I kind of feel like I myself am inadequate when it comes to the creative process and things like that because I see, other people who are, either just as creative or less creative than myself, or maybe even more creative than myself. Primarily more creative than myself, I'd have to say. They often do a lot better than me when it comes to coming up with new ideas and being innovative with their content, whatever it may be, and stuff like that. And you know, they tend to become a lot more successful than myself within things that I myself am passionate about. Like, as I've stated so many times, I'm passionate about making music and making YouTube videos and stuff like that. And it really all comes down to thought process. And some of the things that I like to do to stop myself from feeling inadequate, or at least feeling better about my creative thinking, is I like to, what's the word I'm looking for? I like to put out the best content that I can possibly put out. And if I have a feeling that I can't, post anything better than that, then I let it be. Another thing I like to do is I like to take small steps towards success within things that I'm passionate about. For instance, my goal for a while was to reach 250 subscribers on this channel, and I've done that. And it's thanks to you guys that I was able to accomplish that. And not only that, but I would now like to reach 500 and then 1,000 subscribers. And it's going to take a while before I can reach those goals. One thing that makes me feel inadequate is seeing, YouTubers with like 20 videos reach like 5,000 subscribers, or like, you know, things like that. And but what I realize is that it really damages my creative thinking and my process for, publishing the best content that I can. And I really don't like to think about that. So what I'd really like to think about in, times of inadequacy is just thinking that no matter how I feel, I genuinely feel like I can get there, and that I will be able to succeed in what I am passionate about doing, and that I will become successful. But it just takes time, and although I am not as successful as those people who are, you know, making less content but becoming more successful, although I am not as successful as those people, I'm still finding success in ways that I myself am proud of. Like, it takes people like, I saw this one channel where this dude had like 3,000 videos uploaded to YouTube, but only had like 36 subscribers. And something like that is just like something that, I would genuinely hate to deal with. Um, because that would make me feel even more inadequate at creating content and my creative process and stuff like that. So something that I like to think about is that I'm making progress. It may be small progress or slow progress, but it's still progress nonetheless. And every video I upload, or every subscriber I gain, or every comment that people comment on my videos is one step closer to my goal of reaching 500 subscribers, or like 1,000 or something like that. And it definitely takes time to get there. It definitely will take time to reach something at least like 500 subscribers from where I am at right now. But with the consistency that I have and the ideas that I come up with, I am genuinely certain, or maybe not certain. I would say more like I am confident in myself to reach those goals and stuff like that. So taking that into account, when you look at your own life, some of the best things that you can do to deal with the feeling of inadequacy is taking small steps towards your goals or building habits that will help you reach your goals. Like, for instance, if you take the law of attraction into account, then basically what that is you you have these goals in your mind that you want to focus on and that you align with everything in you, and you basically change your habits to match whatever goals you have, and take steps towards working towards that goal, and you change your thought process into what it would look like for you to you know take steps towards working towards those goals. If you combine all these things together, then eventually you will get to that goal. And that's kind of the basic gist of the law of attraction. You have to study it more often to understand it better than what I can explain. But if you take things like that into account and change your habits, change your thought process, and take steps to work towards your goal, then there's a chance that you will accomplish that goal no matter what gets in your way. There are professionals that tell people that the only limiter that you have on yourself is your mind. And I'd like to take that into account whenever I'm creating content or coming up with new ideas to, reach my goals and to make habits for myself. And not only that, but work harder towards my goals and stuff like that. And, I take that into account into a lot of things that I do. For instance, so far I've uploaded at least one video every day for the last 5, 6, 7 days. So I'm working towards habits on, being consistent and working towards my goal and taking steps to do that. Even if I can't find something to come up with, my creative process is just garbage that day and I can't come up with anything to make a video on, I still just turn on the camera and, try and think of something to talk about. And today's topic is obviously the feeling of inadequacy. So if you're dealing with a feeling of inadequacy, the best things that I can say to you is, build habits that work towards your goals. Think about your goals, think about them deeply and how you would want to go about accomplishing them and stuff like that. And, align with your goals within your own personal day-to-day life and stuff like that, as I am trying to do. And I've been seeing progress on my channel from uploading every day and stuff like that, and creating content that people would actually like to see. And basically it's a trial and error situation with building habits towards success. It's not just you find out one thing that works and all of a sudden you just become mad successful. It's good to learn at least one good skill on how to reach your goals. It's always good to do that. But one of the more important things is seeing what works and what doesn't. You want to take a step back, analyze yourself, analyze your goals, analyze your habits, see how you can get better and work towards your goals more often, and then just trial and error, find out what works, find out what doesn't, and continue to do that as you build habits and take steps to work towards your goals and stuff like that. And you'll have a better chance at doing that than sitting in your room and wondering why you're so bad at something, or why you're not as successful as somebody else is and stuff like that. And as the man himself, Corey Kenshin, has once said, you can pretty much basically outwork anybody. As long as you put in the time and the effort and the work, you'll be able to reach your goals within these small increments. You know what I'm saying? So all you really gotta do is just here are the steps in I wouldn't say in order, but here are the steps that I take personally to reach my goals, which I am currently using. So analyze myself, trial and error, see what works, see what doesn't. Am I building habits that take me towards my goals? Am I working hard enough towards them? You know, am I seeing progress within, what I am currently doing? And if not, how can I better my the steps that I'm taking, or better my habits to reach the goals that I'm trying to achieve. Next, you want to I really should have wrote this down, honestly, but I didn't. This is all just off the top of my head, and just basically me analyzing myself compared to a lot of people, and what I'm doing differently. But the next thing you want to do is align with your goal. You want to think heavily about your goal. You want to implement steps that you take daily to reach your goals and stuff like that, and basically change your paradigm into things that'll help you reach your goal a lot, maybe not a lot faster, but just create a higher chance of reaching your goal, rather than just sitting and wondering why. The third thing you want to do is build habits, because that's totally different from taking steps. No, but what you want to do is build habits. So like things like, if you want to become a YouTuber and you're just starting out and you don't know what to do, create habits. Think creative more often. Analyze other people's content and what they put out, and how can I maybe not copy what they do, but take inspiration into my own channel for doing something like that. And this could go for anything. This could be for becoming a doctor, a nurse, a firefighter, a police officer, a politician, if that's your thing. Stuff like that. And just create habits. What kind of habits can I create into myself to reach the goals that I'm working towards? So that's another thing that you want to work towards. And was there a fourth thing? I think that was pretty much it. Just those three: analyze yourself, take steps, build habits. Those are the three things that I'm currently working on, and the things that I'm currently doing to reach my goals, and trying, and within this journey to beating the feeling of inadequacy. Because I definitely feel that from time to time, especially when it comes to comparing my content to other people's content, or my creative process to other people's creative process, or my success to other people's success. Inadequacy is something that I definitely deal with, and I'm pretty sure it's a thing that a lot of people deal with, and it's something that can kind of brew this depression within yourself, within oneself, and stuff like that. And it's definitely hard to get over sometimes. But with the right steps, with the right habits, and with the right, analysis of yourself, and, your habits, and, what your goals are and stuff like that, you can definitely beat that, and you can definitely reach your goals, and you can definitely, be victorious over whatever it is you're feeling. So, yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about, the feeling of inadequacy and how to get over it. I'm currently still trying to get over the feeling of inadequacy. But these are steps that I take to kind of get over that feeling, and to kind of thrive for myself, and see successes in ways that I can possibly see success. So hopefully this video helps. Hopefully I have inspired you or motivated you to build healthier habits for yourself to try to achieve your goals and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.